yeah, it's not going to be a straightforward one, this one, as much as I would have liked. Worst case, we'll have to resite the vessel somewhere else if we've got to bring the boiler up and do it as a rear flue. I think it's mainly the vessel that's causing us a bit of an issue, because everything else, Happy New Year, everyone. Hope you're all well. 2nd of January, back at work today. I'm going to be honest, I kind of got used to having the time off, and it was a bit of a struggle getting up this morning. I don't know if some of you guys are still taking another few more days off. I've got a packed week ahead, so yeah, I had my week off, had my time off. I'd like to say I'm ready and refreshed and energized, ready to go back to work, but I'm really not today, because I done the night shift last night with Jessica, and I don't know about some of you guys, but I was told a lot when you have your second child, like the first child is that textbook, and that's what Irene was like. He was fine, like he's ate, slept, poop, everything on time how he's supposed to. With Jessica, she's nuts, like nuts. She just, last night I think I've probably slept a total of 2 hours, so I'm feeling it today. And the job I'm doing today is not in today's video. This will be sort of coming later on, but I've got to do it's basically I'm just doing a wiring job today. I've installed a Wiesmann system boiler with a Mixergy unvented cylinder, and today I've just got to wire it all up, and I've not done it before. It's all on a 4-pipe system, and it's a whole new type of system, so I need to concentrate. I need some focus, but I haven't got that focus today. I'm not feeling it, but I'm local to home. I've got 2 days on it, today and tomorrow, to basically get it all buttoned up, get the wiring done, fill up, test it, commission it, and all that. And yeah, that video will be dropping later on once I've finished the job completely. But other than that, today's video, enjoy it, watch it, subscribe it. It's the first one of the new year, and I've got many more videos to come. I'm going to try and do a selection of different style of videos this year as well. And when I say different style of videos, I'm going to try and add in a few more how-to videos. And I'm also going to try and do a few more videos on pricing, in terms of how I price jobs and how much money I made off YouTube last year. I'm going to try and do that video this month at some point once I get a bit of time. And yeah, just things like that. I want to mix it up a bit and see what sort of content you guys enjoy. So I'm going to go inside, crack on with this job, and I'm going to let you guys crack on with this video. Enjoy. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you on Thursday. Have a good one, everyone. Morning. So today we've got a boiler swap to do. Just got here. It's one of Josh's jobs. Probably already hear the wet vac going, because he's trying to drain the water out this system because there's no drain off on it. Let's go inside and show you what we're dealing with. Ooh, just dropped that. Okay, so this is today's job. We don't have great lighting here, so we're just using the uni light. Got a floor standing Potton Pro Max, which is the old heat only. So these, you get the wall hung version and the floor standing versions. This is coming out, and we're putting in a Baxi heat only, which is here. We're not sure whether we're going to do rear flue or top entry flue. Just depends on the level, how high we can do it, because there's quite a bit of pipework to juggle around with here. So we've got our return there, and this top one here is also return, because as it goes around the back, it tees there. So we've got linking all the returns, and we've got to see how low the boiler will sit in order to be able to get the gas and the condensate out through the bottom. Vessels potentially going to get in the way. If we have to do a rear flue, the vessel will definitely get in the way, so that might have to be moved. If we can do it as a top flue, then we should be okay with the vessel where it is, but the pump on this one was coming straight off the flow, so we are going to have to rejig that, possibly rejig 3-port as well, and see what we can do with it. But yeah, it's quite a tight space. It's not going to be anything pretty. It's going to be a bread and butter job trying to get it done. But one good thing is found an outside drain off, didn't we? Beautiful, beautiful. So once that's drained out, what are we saying? Should we just get the boiler hung first?
Probably, yeah.
I think that's gonna be, because normally we try and get the power flush on and running, and then we can pipe up the boiler, but because it's heat only, there is only a flow returning gas. So I think in this situation, because the pipe work's gonna be a bit tricky, we're gonna focus on getting the boiler piped up first, or at least get the boiler hung so we know where to take our pipes from, and then we can start flushing and then get to a point where we just need to do the final connections. That's the plan anyway, but yeah, it's gonna be quite tight, quite tricky. So let's just see how we get on. Keep you posted. So the old boiler's out. It wasn't actually too bad to take out, and it wasn't as heavy as I thought it would be. It's because it's not one of the old cast iron floor standing ones. Literally just lifted up. It's just a standard heat only, but it's just sitting on the floor rather than on the wall. So we've now got to figure out where we're going to site the boiler. Wall is amazing. So yeah, might have to put a sheet of ply to get a nice straight fixing, because this is all crumbling away everywhere. Capped off that return pipe because it was teed in at the back and then going onto this, and that's then going to be doing the downstairs heating circuit. So once we know where the boiler is going, we can then figure out a plan to link this pipe over to this pipe, because the flow and returns are going to be on this side here. So we really need to try and see. Yeah, it's not going to be an straightforward one, this one, as much as I would have liked. Worst case, we'll have to resite the vessel somewhere else if we've got to bring the boiler up and do it as a rear flue. I think it's mainly the vessel that's causing us a bit of an issue, because everything else we can sort of work with, like the 3-port, I reckon we can keep we'll have to keep that where it is. The pump we will be able to move, could put it sideways, that's not a problem. This is going to be the determining factor of where we can hang the boiler, and then just work out the best way to link these two out. Either maybe link that back together there, and then maybe from here we can just tee into there. One of these is going to be the cylinder return as well, so we need to make sure that whichever one is this is going to be the cylinder return, because that's going to be the heating return coming from there. So yeah, this looks like it's the cylinder return, Josh, because it's coming off on the 28, and also this return here then links down to there, so that's going to be the heating return. So yeah, we'll just get the template out here. Would you reckon? I was thinking maybe a bit of ply to get a straight thing, because that's all over the place. So it might be an idea to just put a sheet of ply on it, I reckon, just so we get a nice even fixing. Let's mock it up with the template. Let's see what we can do first. Let's get that out first. So I've got the template on the wall. That's where the flue is. We're going to go for the rear flue option, because if we do the top flue, it sits way too low and we can't get to anything down there. At least if we rear flue it, we've got enough space below to get the pipework in, and it also meets the minimum clearances for the MIs as well. And with this being the top of the boiler, this dotted line here, we might actually clear the vessel. I don't know, but worst case we can move that. I'd rather move the vessel than try and core a new flue hole. So we're going to go with the rear flue option. Still have enough space on the pipework to get onto there and get the returns onto it as well. In the worst case, we'll just have to move this. Maybe we've got all that space there, so we could just even move it up there. We'll see. Yeah, I think that's probably the best place to move it to. Cool, right, so let's start prepping the boiler. Get the rear flue in. Got the rear flue all mocked up, measured up and everything, so that's ready to go in. So the way I do this is you just pop the flue in. You've got your screw and screws which go through the bracket, then push it through the hole, and then Josh was on the other side. He pulled the terminal out just to get it flush to the outside wall, then carefully pull it back through, screw and tape it. There's also a foam seal here, so this is basically just to stop any draft from coming back in through the hole, because obviously it is a rear flue and there's no way to seal it otherwise on the inside. We're going to seal it on the outside, but at least this way, this is like a weatherproofing strip. So now this should literally push through. There we go. and we were able to get decent fixings around there. So I'm going to go ahead and screw that in, and then we'll just make good the flue on the outside and then put the collar on, and that'll be it. And then now we can start hanging the boiler or work out where we need to move this, or we can hang it straight on it. We're on, and we've got just enough space above the vessel as well. So I managed to get the boiler on, the rear flues all done and dusted, and it's enough to get the case off as well. Worst case, if we do need to move this, we can move this later on, but the way this case pulls up is there's literally a tiny lip at the top here, so it just pop and comes forward. And we've still got enough space here to work on the pipe work onto the flying returns. So yeah, we marked up, flow is on here. I was thinking, where's the flow pipe gone? Flow's on there because obviously the pump was coming straight off the old one. We've got to link these two returns in together. So now we've got a bit more space. We can now make a plan as to how we're going to pipe everything up. And that's where the pump was originally. Flow is there, so that would work pretty good. Get the pump straight on there. Could probably put the pump. No, I think if we put it vertical again, we're not going to have enough space once the valve goes on. So what we could do is maybe take out of here, put a street elbow coming across, put the pump sideways, and then bring it down onto the flow. And then on here we've got to tie in the magnetite filter as well, and then the two returns. Gas is in 22, so it was reduced down to 15 with the last boiler, but the gas meter is just outside there, and it's literally just coming around here. And this is the only gas appliance?
Only one, mate.
So it's the only gas appliance. It's a 24 kilowatt boiler, heat only boiler, so pipe sizing should be fine. We're just going to take that from the 22 and bring it on, because the 22 connection under the boiler. Wiring centers all here as well. So the good thing, another good thing I love about these boilers, you don't need a permanent live and you don't need a pump over on it. It's just switch, live, neutral and earth. So where my cable is over here, all we've got to wire in is the grey, the black and the earth. This was our permanent live, which I'll just terminate safely. And even there's no wiring into the boiler. It comes with the cable wrapped up, so you literally just bring it out, probably bang a little junction box on the side and wire it into there, and that's it. Wiring is straightforward as that. So now we've just got to make a plan on best way to run the pipe work, and also we need to figure out whether we want to start flushing first or I think get the pipe work done, because it's going to be awkward.
And we can leave the pump out and just go into the pump out.
Yeah, I think we'll do that. I think we'll get the boiler piped up, because I think that's going to take the longest. Then once that's done, we can just let the power flush do its thing whilst we tidy up and do the wiring and all the other little bits and pieces. I think, yeah, get the flowing returns done, then get the power flush on, and then we can do the condense, the gas, the wiring, those sort of bits. Right, we have a plan. Let's execute it. So we made a slight alteration. We ended up moving the vessel anyway. So we brought the vessel where it was sort of further back, brought it forward, brought the filling loop, the cold main forward as well. And we've ordered a new filling loop, because this pressure gauge doesn't seem to work. So we've ordered the new filling loop with the pressure gauge built into it. So we've just got to do a slight adjustment for the PRV there. That's the fill, so we'll bring that round into here. And then now we've got a bit more space to actually do the pipe work on the boiler. So now what we will do is we'll bang the filter straight onto the return connection there. So that will come straight off of there, and we can turn it to the side, so draining, we can drain it from there, lift it up from there, and then as we go up we can then put a T, and might even cap that off, put a T going to there, and then a T coming round picking this up. I think, yeah, that makes more sense. So keep that bit capped off. I know it's a short dead leg, or we can cut it up and below it and put a coupling in if you want, we'll see. And then yeah, just come into there, and then that will come into there. So that should be our return done, and then the flow should just go wash straight onto there or higher up, wherever. But yeah, return first, and then we'll sort out the flow, because we've got to get the pump in as well, and we're changing the 3-port as well. Right, so I'm just tying in the return. Josh is sorting this out. You made a little boo-boo here, didn't you? Yeah. Luckily, the Rapid Blue hadn't gone off. He basically put the non-return valve in the wrong way, so the arrow is pointing out. We need to go in. So luckily, I clocked it from down here, so we're able to swap it out quickly. But yeah, filling loop's getting done and return's getting done, so that's on there. Just press the cap onto there, and now that I'm just going to bring it around the back here and then tie it to here. So that's our return done, and then we can sort out the flow. Okay, vessel's done, return's tied in, so like I said, we cap that off, put the filter straight on there, so that sticks out enough for us to drain it and get the cap off. Pressed in the 2T, so that's all linked together. Brought it around here to the hot water return as well, so that's all now returned, teed in together. Vessel's all been redone as well. So new PRV bit. That's the bit that was going onto the heating system to fill it. We changed over the filling loops as well, so we've got to put in a new pressure gauge on there. Now I'm going to take off the 3-port. We're going to be replacing the 3-port. So at this point, I'm kind of contemplating whether we should start flushing first, because ideally, whilst we've got 3-port out, I can get the power flush machine onto the heating side here, so that can start flushing the heating circuit, and then obviously take it off and then do the hot water circuit. So yeah, because we're changing the 3-port and pump anyway, so what I'll probably do is maybe mock it all up and then take it out and then go straight onto there, because if we're taking it out, might as well go straight onto there, because the ball inside there adds a lot of restriction to the flow when you're flushing. So if I can go straight onto the 22, then that will be even better. Then obviously the hot water circuit is on 28mm primary, so that can go straight onto there. And obviously one of the flushing points will be the top one there off the MagnaClean. So yeah, that's going to be the next point of action now. So we've mocked up how we're going to do the pump. It's not going to look pretty at all. I'll show you once it's done, because it's hard to sort of hold it in position and film it at the same time. But we're not pressing it in yet, because we're going to go straight onto the heating flow side for the power flush, and then the hot water side for the power flush as well. But basically, the pump is too big to put it vertical coming off the bottom of the 3-port, and it's too big to go sideways for it to go straight into there. So we're going to have it somewhere here, and it's going to go like that through the pump, and then it's going to have to come up, back on itself, and up to the 3-port. Rather that than it going down and then having to come down and then up and stuff like that, because that's just asking for airlocks, which we really don't want. I know it's a pressurized system, so we shouldn't have any problems with airlocks, hopefully, but try and minimize it where possible. So yeah, it's going to go like that, up, back on itself a little bit, and then up to the 3-port, but I'll show you once it's all done. Right now, we're going to get the power flush machine out, get it all warmed up. What's the time? 1 o'clock. So it's not bad actually for timing wise. Going to have a bit of lunch while the power flush machine is heating up. Josh has ordered his lunch. What have you ordered? Brick Lane bagel. He's got bagel. Oh, I could do with a smoked salmon and cream cheese bagel with some capers, some chili flakes. Oh. Yeah, no, I got chicken and rice. So I'm going to crack on with that. And we're going to crack on with this. Okay, so this is how we connect up the power flush. So got the flow connected on there, returns connected on there. I'm just using the short hoses because we're just setting everything up here. So that's switched on, the element's heating up the water in there. Got some chemical in there, ready to start flushing as soon as that's up to temperature. The job continues. So we're now isolated all the rads. The wiring's done, so literally you just get a cable coming out of the boiler, just put it into a junction box. I'll pin that back to the wall afterwards. I mean, can't really pin it anyway. I tried to pin it, but it keeps pinging back, but I'll see what I can do with that afterwards. Gas is done. So picked up in 22, gone straight into the boiler. It's been tested, tightness test is all good. And we're now starting to circulate the rads individually, and we've just done one rad. And that's the colour of the water. So yeah, it's gonna be a fun one. We always get the fun ones. And light doesn't work here, so we're relying on that one. We're relying on the light from the other rooms, and we're trying to turn this light on as well. Try and get us as much light as possible because it's quite dark here. Shall I flip that now? Yeah. Right. I'm gonna get the condense done now. We'll do the hole from here, and then we'll run it an 1.25 inches or 1.5 inches, whatever it is outside, straight into the gully. And then once that's done, wiring is literally just take the power flush machine off at the end, fill up the system, do the flow, fill up the system, purge, commission, etc. Replace the programmer as well and a new thermostat. So yeah, stuff's getting done, which is good. Because it's a heat only, there's only so much that we can be getting on with. But just trying to make stuff happen. It's 4 o'clock, so I'm not doing too bad. Right, the flush is done. I reckon it's gonna be dirty. Oh, I know that the water's dirty. What do you reckon, Josh? Filth? Two big wow.
Jesus.
Yeah. That's one. Let's see what the other one looks like. Yeah. There we go. So, system's been fully flushed. Now get rid of all these and start dumping. All right, system's all flushed and we're about to turn it on. So this is what I was talking about with the pump. So we've come up, but to go like that, obviously it was too long to go straight up. So we've had to do a bit of jiggery pokery there, but let's get that. Which way around does that go? I believe. Is it that way? Nope. It's going to be that way. Right. I've isolated the gas at the ECV because I don't want the boiler to fire at the moment. I just want the system to go through. There we go. It's purged. So this pump has got a purge function. So you just press it once and then you should see some circles going up and down, or lines. Yeah, that's it. So now that's in mid position. It sounds like the boiler's trying to fire because there is a demand on, but I've isolated the gas so it's not going to fire. So it will allow the pump to basically purge all the air out of it, and then we'll get the boiler fired up and hopefully there's no airlocks. I mean, it is a sealed system, so shouldn't get airlocks, but you never know. Josh, in the airing cupboard, is there an AAV or anything like that?
I can't double check everything, you know.
Okay. So yeah, we'll just have to basically test it and see what happens. But hopefully the purge function on this pump is usually pretty good, and it definitely gets rid of all the air. We've bled everything from the bottom up, so any air should have got expelled now by now, but we shall see. Let's just let this purge out and then get this bad boy fired up. We're live. Commissioned, signed, sealed, delivered. 90 millibar working pressure at the boiler, 20 millibar at the meter, fired up first time, no airlocks. Everything is getting nice and warm. Got heat on the return, the heating return and the cylinder return. Boiler is humming away absolutely beautifully. So we're done, we're out of here. Say bye, Josh.
Bye.